people.
And whose fault is that? Black people.
If we're constantly
bro,
you just admitted.
This is why nobody takes black people serious, man. Like, this is crazy. Like,
I'm gonna let him go next because you have so much circular logic.
Over policing.
This was a fantastic opportunity to make myself dumber.
No, dude, this is literally why everyone laughs at blacks.
Let's run that back about the black community. What did you say about stereotypes of black community? Just so I'm clear.
The typical stereotypes.
Watermelons,
selling drugs, rap music,
sneak Jordans,
FUBU.
Who's the
fried chicken, watermelon?
That's funny.
Well, you said the stereotypes.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yes,
drug dealers.
You want to talk about drug dealing? Who?
Drug dealers wearing do-rags, Section 8, wearing big chains for no reason, having a dog and letting your dog poop in other people's yards, not taking care of your children, deadbeat dad, weave warriors. Sorry, I just turned into Myron for a second. Oh my God.
I think we kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier. Who flooded black neighborhoods with drugs? They don't have access to the port. Black people aren't.
I remember. Okay, I did see a part of this on X. He's gonna try to argue that, well, it was the Hispanics that brought the drugs in there. So by definition, the blacks are just gonna distribute the drugs anyway, which is a stupid low IQ argument. Goodness gracious. So that's like saying, well, let me think. So all the Cubans brought all the cocaine in Florida. What do you expect? Like, the people not to consume and buy drugs from the Cubans? Or the people that work in the cartel to take all that coke? We don't have a choice, bro. That's basically his argument. It's retarded. Stupid. Sorry for saying retarded. Just kidding.
On the ports, black people are the ones bringing it in from Nicaragua or wherever the fuck. How did those drugs get in these communities?
Yeah, they were smuggled in.
Oh my God.
By who?
Hispanics typically smuggle the drugs in.
So
right, and then blacks typically do the domestic distribution.
So we're talking about you're just saying that the CIA Contra affair, all that stuff that happened, putting crack in black neighborhoods, that was just black people, crazy.
Well, you have a choice. Am I going to sell crack or am I not going to sell crack? If you decide to not sell the crack, you won't go to jail. If you decide to sell the crack, you'll go to jail.
So
the point is that there's a choice to be made, and if you make the wrong choice, then.
So when you deny a whole community access to wealth through, redlining, when you let them access to wealth, about, not giving them loans or
what's holding black people back from success now?
So history doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the present.
The answer is nothing.
Doesn't affect the present. Is that what you're framing?
History doesn't affect the present. That's like no Sherlock. But you could learn from the past. The past has nothing to do with the present now, though, bro. What are you talking about? Like, if you said, like, Hispanics have been, oppressed for years, what does that have to do with anything now? Hispanics could still create their own businesses or get an education, have a family, and still be in the kids' lives and not have to be abusive machismo guys. Like, you can still choose to be whatever you want to be. It doesn't matter. It's a victim mindset, and it drives me crazy when people, any race, have a victim mindset. Well, white people have a victim mindset because it's like people trash white people for being white now. But don't get me wrong. There's a bunch of crazy white people out there. A bunch of crazies, Good for finances, but when it comes to talking to y'all be taking advantage of a brown man. They're like, they see a brown guy like, oh, let me see if he can fix my kitchen and like help my sewage system in my house. Maybe he could help me with that.
Not really. Which
is
okay. Holding you back.
I'm one brother.
Okay.
I'm one brother.
Well, any black person that's here, nothing's holding any of you guys back. You guys are here, right?
So as far as like housing,
here, right?
So you're saying that there is still no racist housing practices, even though we have a ton of statistics to say there is. You're saying that there are no racist policing practices, even though we know
I never said that.
Oh,
never said that.
Okay, you never said that.
Racism exists, but it does not exist to the point where it keeps you from success. So there's always going to be racist people wherever you look.
Everywhere.
There's a lot of black people that are racist, right? I would argue blacks tend to be more racist than whites sometimes. But
no, blacks are the most racist people.
Racism is no longer a viable excuse.
And I'm gonna get this might get me canceled, but I'm just saying. I think black people are the most racist people on the planet, and the reason I say that is because black people are allowed to be racist. And what I mean by that is black people have the excuse to be ignorant for certain things. For example, my sister, not to get her in trouble, I'm not gonna say her name obviously, but she had I'm Panamanian, right? And we live in a state where not a lot of people have a lot of Hispanics, quote unquote, right? Like the people I'm used to Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. Here there's a bunch of Mexicans, right? And when they see my sister, they thought she was Mexican or Indian or something like that. And it's like, how can I say this? Black people black people tend to only care or have knowledge on black culture, not on anything else in the world. Whether you're Arabs, whether you're Hispanic, Colombian, Argentinian, Chinese, they don't really care to know or be educated on other cultures besides their own, right? But I noticed that other people who are black, white, Hispanic, other cultures tend to. I'm not saying this is all black people. I'm just giving a generalization. But there's, depending on the culture, it could make you ignorant on certain things. And it's like, and someone the other day, this woman I used to talk to, she was at a Mexican restaurant, right? But in her IG story, she put on Bad Bunny as the background music, and she's black. And I was just cringing because I'm like, you do realize that Mexicans and Puerto Ricans are not the same thing, right? So little things like that I'd be noticing. It's not like so direct, but it's like I feel like black people are definitely the most racist because at least white people, they could identify stereotypes of each culture. It's more obvious to them, and they themselves know they can't season food or chicken, I should say. But white people are the best customers when it comes to certain cultures. Like I always see white people going to Mediterranean restaurants or trying Indian food and just trying everything, which is I get it because y'all have mediocre food, and it's not a bad thing. Again, every culture is different and has its own beautiful stereotypes and flaws and good things about them, you know. So if you want a Hispanic to, fix your car or fix your tires or whatever, then that doesn't make you racist for doing that. Just like how I'm only gonna go to Dominica to cut my hair when I get a haircut, not a white person because they don't know how to cut hair the way I want it to. Even black people be going to Dominicans. Let's be honest. Let's keep it all the way 1,000.
Excuse as to why you're not successful. It's just not. It's 2025. I would argue, as a black person, if you're not successful in 2025, you're a fucking retard, and I'll tell you why. You have far more opportunities and benefits as a colored person than as a Caucasian. We have affirmative action, DEI. We have all these programs in place to allow minorities to basically get a leg up on the things that you're talking about before. I agree that there were some racist atrocities before. However, we've corrected it to a point where everyone has an opportunity. I would say we've almost overcorrected.
Yes, the American dream. The American dream that Martin Luther King wanted for America, where a person would be judged by the content, not by the content of their skin, but the content of their character. Sorry, I know I butchered that line, but this is the American dream that Martin Luther King wanted, and we are living in it. But unfortunately, it is a little bit overcorrected because, unfortunately, we live in such a weird age, man. And this is not just a black culture. This is not a race culture. This is like everything sort of spiritual, race, dating, politics, everything. We're cooked. We're cooked. It's a bad
almost
habit.
yes.
Okay, you think we've overcorrected. So all these programs, all these things that exist, who did DEI programs mostly benefit?
Women blacks and women and minorities.
White women were the number one. Black people at the bottom.
Yeah,
we're at the lower part of that table. It was white women. So don't come here and say the DEI has put black people.
I am not. Well, it's giving you guys opportunities, and obviously, yeah, white women are almost.
What opportunities?
White women spearhead every liberal movement, which again, on the white guys. You guys need to take better. You guys need to, put these women back in the kitchen.
Facts.
Because the reality is that they fucking undermine.
Listen, this is coming from a guy who is not married. I'm married 5 years. Don't listen to this.
Congratulations. You want a cookie? You want a cookie?
Bro,
your
opinions on bro, I'm just saying your opinions on women come from an uninformed place.
Really?
Yes.
How many women have you had sex with?
A lot.
Okay.
Ugh.
Now, how long have you been married
That's
for?
provable, and I got video evidence.
Yeah. Okay. Well, don't incriminate yourself. Look,
who'd say that?
You
bro?
can sit here and say, you're not married, so therefore you can't talk on this. But the reality is that men are the ones that give relationships to women, not the other way around. So if I wanted to get married, I could easily get married.
Women can say no, right?
Well, women want relationships. Men gatekeep relationships.
Men need relationships.
No,
we
need
do
relationships, actually.
Oh, okay. What's
a
the
woman?
statistics on single men?
Any woman that says that I don't need no man is lying through their teeth. They are lying through their teeth. They can't do anything by themselves. And everything that a woman does leads to the end of a relationship, or it leads to no direction in life. That's why a woman needs a man, because a man is going to put her in her place, give her direction, give her guidance, give her the insurances and security, be a provider. All these things women need. Women are not meant to be independent. It's a fact. I've met so many women that say, I don't need no man. I'm just fine just being by myself. And they're miserable and they're old and lost value and they're 37 with no kids. Trash, cooked.
And loneliness, depression. And what happens with these single men once they get into relationships? And what happens to women once they get in relationships or get married, statistically?
All right, so do you want to transition from race into marriage now, or did you want to finish
Oh, I'm
the
sorry.
race
You're the one who's talking about women. You're the one who's starting the conversation.
you brought
about
the whole I'm married thing, and you
I'm married.
Listen, if you can't handle the debate, brother, if you can't handle, I got you. But what I'm
saying, if you want to segue to that, we can. But
man, we can segue to that. I want to talk about race and the fact that historically we've been kept away from our communities.
And my counter to that is simply historically does not mean now. There's nothing holding you back now.
And my counter argument to that is, then that's like saying that like what happened a few minutes ago doesn't affect our present. It does. That's the way history works. That's the way time works. We have laws. We have legislation. The reason we have a country is because of shit that happened a long time ago. True or false? The reason that we have the Constitution and the laws that still govern us today are because of legislation and things that happened. But that's the way.
So just because, like, again, things that happened in the past are not meant to, that way you could stay stuck in the present. The things that happened in the past, so you could learn from it, and then in the present, like, be on your grind, be able to advance and be better, and just and for example, if you have a business, right, you have a failed business, good thing that you failed it, so that way you could learn what you need to do better, so that way you could create a successful business. But this guy has a mindset where he's like, oh, I have a failed business, but because it failed, that's all that it is. That's the past, and it defines me now. No, the past is something that you have to reflect, which is not, this is something not a lot of people do. Reflect, analyze where you failed in your life, and grow from there. But people want to have this victim mindset. I'll never have that victim mindset. I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm brown, and I've never accepted that just because I'm brown, I'm Hispanic, and I'm a minority, that means that I'm gonna be less than, or I'm not gonna succeed in life. I do feel like I will have to work harder. Yes, I agree with that, but I'm not gonna allow that victim mindset to detain me from going out and learning new skill sets, so that way I can be successful. That's why I'm on YouTube, because I know that I have the potential of doing great things on this platform and be consistent to connect with a bigger, wider audience that has the same mindset as me.
Time works.
Of course.
It's past,
what I'm saying is,
and future.
Though the things happened in the past, nothing is stopping you from working in the present to change your future.
But you're like saying, like, say there's two people running a race. You just had all these obstacles in front of one, well, no obstacles in front of the other, and now you're saying, well, we're not gonna have halfway through the race, no more obstacles.
You know, bro, let me just be honest. This is why nobody respects blacks, bro. Like this mantra right here.
Why does no one respect you?
Let me explain this. Why is that Nigerians or people from Africa, or they come from the Caribbean, they come here and they make something to themselves as first generation immigrants? I'll tell you why. Because they don't have this mindset of redlining, systemic racism, reparations. They come here even though they're black. And
That's sick. Oopsie. All right. I'm back. And I also don't support reparations. That's a handout. I'm not gonna try to. That's the equivalent of me going to a Mr. Beast video and trying to get some money. Like, I'm not gonna admit that I'm broke to the world. I'm not gonna ask for the white man, please give me some money. No.
And everyone else can identify them as not being a foundationally black American. They have the same skin color. They look black. They might not necessarily be a foundationally black American, but how is it that they're able to figure it out and come here and become successful? But people that have been here for 7 generations don't even have $7 in their fucking bank account. The problem is that blacks make too many goddamn excuses for why they're failures.
Oh my God.
And this is the issue. Too many excuses.
Oh my God.
Too many fucking complaints. Too much crying. It's like
they're not. I mean, this is stuff that actually happened when we did build economic systems, when we did build communities where we had money. When we did build those things, they were what? Destroyed systematically, either by racist organizations or by legislation. That's something that actually happened. So what happens when you give a bunch of people who are one race, right, access to housing, access to loans, and you don't do that to another people? What do you think the generations after that would have happened?
If that racism is so bad, why is it that black people actually did better during the Jim Crow era? They had their own businesses. They were making more money. I'll tell you why, because the nuclear family. So when black people were the most oppressed and had the least rights and the least civil liberties, they actually did better than they do now. So again, nothing can keep you back.
You're talking about
nothing can keep you back from success besides yourself.
So you're talking about Reconstruction, right? What happened to all those successful businesses and things that were around during Jim Crow? They were destroyed, bro. They were destroyed.
And who destroyed
cousin. Our government or white racists, but that happened. You can't even lie. That's history, brother. That's history.
Again, choice and accountability.
The 90s were just
choice
a couple.
And accountability.
Like I just gave I didn't even remember that part of the video. I didn't the black businesses that failed. Okay, you can't create another business, or is it just like, again, you're gonna just like play victim? You know what? I just reminded me just now. Who's that YouTuber? Mediocre tutorials and reviews. He did a video where one of his clients spoke like a testimony, talking about how he lost his business, his wife took half his money and everything, and then he, grinded and then restarted his whole life, created a new company, and got his money 10 times full, like 10 times better. And then he remarried a different woman and is happy. There's two type of people in this world. One, people who let the world break them down and fail, and they stay stuck in that same mindset. Or two, people that the same thing. The devil and the enemy of the world is trying to break you down, not allow you to fulfill your destiny, not allow you to be successful, make you cry, be depressed, all these things, and they learn from it and they receive that energy and use that negativity and pour out to things that are positive, like going to the gym, eating healthier, studying new skill sets, so that way you could grow and make money, make income, reading the Bible, finding God, to reach that level of success. That because the enemy doesn't. All the enemy wants is to make sure that you're stuck. He wants you to be stuck forever and not ever reach your level of success that is desired by God Himself. So you have two choices, and that's the thing about free will, and it's the beauty of the world. We all have free will, and if you want to play victim and just cry tears and be all depressed, oh, my business failed, oh my God, I lost all my money, oh my goodness, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna kill myself, then that's on you. That's the sad truth. You have a choice whether you want to be successful or not.
That was a little bit ago. We're still living in the body. Okay, so what you're saying? So the people in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they chose for the Klan to come around.
No, stupid. The whole Tulsa happened because of racism. We all know that what happened at Black Wall Street. That is a stupid example. That has nothing to do with the argument.
They chose for that. Is that what the fuck? You're talking about choice and responsibility, brother.
And I'm saying,
what responsibilities does the government have?
What I'm saying is, in the 60s, when they were actually successful, right, they were oppressed to the highest degree and they were still successful. So there's no excuse with racism being...
Like, Tulsa happened in 1921, did it not? So what are you talking about? We're talking about the 60s. It's during the Jim Crow era, during the rise of the civil rights movement. That's what he's talking about. And that is true. The divorce rate was a lot less. Divorce was thought as treachery, like just frowned upon, and you were like cast out of your family at the time. And I think we need to go back to those times. I'm blessed that I still have my parents, and I have so much respect for them because I've seen so many divorces and so many people that are married that aren't even happy in their marriages. So I hope to find something like that one day in my life. Will I though? I don't know. Like whoever I end up being with has to be someone that accepts me for my controversial, outlandish, rude, offensive humor. Because I'm a comedian, by the way, guys. In case you guys didn't know, this is a comedy skit. This entire segment is a comedy skit. And in return, I'll take care of her. That's it. Simple. I don't ask for a lot. Most men don't ask for a lot. Most men just want a girl that's gonna, for sex, be their peace, and that's it, really. Feminine, submissive, obey, follow my lead. That's it. That's all men want. That's all we want, man. For real. W Myron.
Reeled back to not be successful. That's what I'm saying. All these other things happened. Cool. Nobody cares. People need to pick themselves up from the bootstraps.
Maybe you need to start caring. Maybe people should start caring. Maybe we should have those conversations. Because if we don't take care of what happened and how people were left, like taken away from their access to wealth, right? If we don't deal with those things, how the fuck are we gonna move forward?
We already have. We already fixed it.
Again, you can move forward because blacks have more opportunities than their white counterparts who are oppressing them for so long.
Who gets?
Want to know something interesting I read the other day? I didn't know this until recently because I be learning. I just love to be on the news and learning certain things. But when Trump during his first term, didn't he like lower the time for people that bought like marijuana or stuff like that? He like either like pardoned them or like lowered the sentences, because I remember one issue back in the 80s was that, and I read this book because of this woke woman that I was trying to talk to. She was talking about, the book was talking about how like white people, when they would buy coke, they would serve less time compared to, or they wouldn't even be like going to be the black neighborhoods, right, compared to what the government was doing at the time to take down the drug dealers. So they would go to the bad neighborhoods of blacks specifically to try to attack them or arrest them. My counter argument would be like, okay, just because they infiltrated and they tried to attack exactly where the drugs were coming from, it doesn't change the fact that the black people still chose to sell the drugs, right? That was my argument when I was reading that book. But the book doesn't say that at that time, like for example, a ounce of like, I don't know how the measurements are, but like a amount of coke would be more than the amount of weed that the person would get arrested for. But the person with the weed with less would serve more time. So that is, but Trump during his first term, he was able to do something where he forgave people for those sentences, those overextended sentences, which is a W, because Trump understands that, like, and I don't know why black people don't address this more, but that's something that I find very good. I mean, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke weed at all, but I find that very fulfilling and actually shows a sign of that we are in the step in the right direction. Unlike Kamala Harris, who was throwing all people that smoke weed into jail. So I give Trump credit for that, because that's something that is a sign that, like, okay, we see, I look at the past. Do these people actually deserve to be serving this long in prison? No. So then let's pardon them. Let's give them a lower sentence and let's address it, because they, don't deserve to be in jail for that long. And you gotta give him credit for that. That's something I do respect. And again, that's just one of multiple things that Trump has done for black people in America. He's, compared to Obama did nothing for black people except the culture. He was cool with the culture, but when it comes to actual things to help black people in America and black businesses, Obama did nothing. Let's be honest.
Who gets the majority of scholarships?
Well, here's the thing. There are scholarships that are only available to black people that are not available to whites.
Who gets the majority of scholarships?
Now, could you imagine if there was a scholarship that was only available to whites that's not available to blacks? See where I'm going with this?
But why do you think
Blacks
they
have
had to do that?
opportunities
But why
that
do you
whites
think
don't
they had
have,
to-
and they've been getting this overcorrection for a while.
But right, but we're still saying who gets the majority of loans, who gets over policed, who gets the majority of access to wealth, who gets the majority of scholarships. It's white folk, brother.
Well, they're the majority of people. They're the majority race. So of course they're going to be the majority in a lot of these regards that you're
So,
speaking
but
about.
if they're the majority race, how come black people, right? But you want to talk about black people in regards to crime, but you don't want to talk about how that crime got into those neighborhoods or how those things, what responsibility
people
does
have a
white
choice,
America,
bro.
or America, the government, have as a whole for what you keep talking about responsibility? What responsibility does the government have?
Here's the problem. Blacks
answer the
want to
question.
blame the government, not blame themselves. Oh, it's the government's fault. No, it's your fault for selling the drugs.
The government.
So the government has no responsibility. They have no fault, nothing bad. They didn't do anything bad. They're good.
No
It's
one's
all-
saying that,
it's all
bro.
gravy.
The government's
But
always going to
black
do
people-
dumb shit.
So we can't hold the government accountable.
Here's the
Individual
thing.
choice.
You can't depend on the government to save you. Like, just don't commit
yo,
crimes.
You're wild. So the government, what utility does the government
depend
have?
on the government to save you?
But okay, cool. But why are they destroying us?
They're not
They're
destroying.
not.
So
Right now, how is the government holding you back from success right now?
I can't believe I got to
How
do
is
this
the
again,
government
but-
holding you back from success right now?
The race,
I don't care about the 80s with the crack.
No,
How are they
okay, we'll
holding you
talk
back
about right now. What
How?
race of people are the highest exonerated? What race of people are the highest of wrongful convictions? What race of people are statistically over-policed? Go
Well,
on.
I mean,
Well, who
obviously,
commits a disproportionate amount of violent crime in America?
which is 12% of America,
wait,
by
I
the
have
way.
a question. If wrongful convictions are majority of wrongful convictions are black people, and the majority of wrongful arrests, which is provable statistically, are black people, then could you assert from these statistics?
Avoiding the
and look
question.
at the one where you're saying that.
Avoiding the question. This nigga's a hypocrite because you're married, right? I don't know how long. Hopefully the marriage lasts. Hopefully she don't cheat on you, or you don't cheat on her, or the divorce happens and you're a deadbeat dad. I'm just saying. But he asked you specifically. Oh, that's another thing black people are saying. They be saying Pacific instead of specific, which is kind of funny. But he asked you, what is stopping you from success now? Brother, you are in college and you're married. I see his ring right there in front of the camera. Nothing's stopping you, brother. That's all he's asking you. It's a simple yes or no, but he doesn't want to answer because he knows it would debunk Myron's point. Oops.
Oh, they're committing more violent crime, right? When
Sure.
you're saying that one, then what does that tell you? Their communities are over-policed.
This is a minority of cases, but the majority is they're fucking guilty.
The majority of black people are not.
No, I
But
said
we-
the
but-
majority of these people that
okay,
get arrested.
okay.
The majority of these people
then
that get
why would you
arrested
why would
are
you get
guilty.
a white criminal offended and a black criminal offended who have the same criminal record go before a judge? Do black people disproportionately get higher sentences?
Because they commit a disproportionate amount of crime.
No,
And it's violent crime and it's drug trafficking.
you're not.
It's violent
answering the
crime and it's
question.
drug trafficking.
So you're saying that like, oh, well, I see a black guy, a white guy, they did the same crime, but because your community historically, wow, you want to bring that up historically,
Oh. Well, that could be access to lawyers. That's going to be a big one.
and so how does it? What happens when? What community
That's a
has
good
the
point.
least access to wealth? It's black people.
And whose fault is that? Black people.
If we're
Like,
constantly, bro, you just
Bro,
admitted.
this is why nobody fucking takes black people serious, man. Like, this is
Victim
crazy. Like,
I'm
mindset.
gonna let him go next because you're
Victim.
circular logic.
over policing.
This was a fantastic opportunity to make myself dumber.
No,
Thank you.
dude, this is literally why everyone laughs at fucking blacks. Like, I don't know if you saw a bunch of niggas in the back are laughing at you. Like, all you got is excuses and complaints as to why you're a fucking failure. Like, bruh,
Double-digit IQ.
like, this shit is crazy. You know? Like, it's just absolutely nuts. It's like, how is it that people come here from Africa, don't speak the language, and figure it out and become successful? Meanwhile, we got these guys coming around, oh, more racism. It's fucking clown world, bro. It's clown world. And this is why people laugh at the black community, because all they do is victim, 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 victim.
W. Myron. Great video. Hopefully don't play another video after. But yeah, man. It drives me crazy, the victim mindset, bro. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you guys like that. Comment below any video reactions you guys want me to do on the channel. I don't want this channel to be a reaction channel only, but it seems to be the thing that gets the most views on the channel. So I'm just gonna observe what the audience enjoys and grow from there. So be sure to subscribe. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers, and any type of value advice you guys want on the channel, please comment below, and then we'll go from there. See you guys next time.